friends, and welcome to card 15 of my fall series for this year. Today I want to share with you this beautiful dimensional card using some amazing products from Honeybee. So let's get into it. I'm going to be using the Lovely Layers Sunflower die. This is a beautiful die that they just came out with in their most recent release. I'm also going to be using a greeting from the Everything is Wonderful stamp set. These lovely layers are amazing. They are so fun to play with, and I was so excited to use this one. I also have the coneflower as well. I thought about adding it to this card, but I wanted to just focus on the sunflower. So I'm going to be using some Distress Mica Spray stains. I got my hands on these. I was really lucky to get them, but really fun to play with. You could just use regular Distress sprays or anything like that. I'm going to be using this little box here. This has become my little splat box. And these mica stains, you have to really shake them up before you can use them to get the mica moving around inside. I am using flickering candle and jack-o'-lantern, crooked broomstick, and tree lot. There's Halloween colors and one of the new Christmas colors. I'm just spritzing it lightly onto these die cuts. I don't want them to be fully coated in the mica sprays, although it is very pretty. I decided to use solid color cardstock for these. These are just some scraps that I had in my stash. You can use any color that you like. I wanted to have a nice base for these mica spray stains to kind of help emphasize and add some nice background tone to them. I really love the way that these turned out. I had created a couple of these sunflowers a while back where I completely coated some watercolor paper with the mica sprays, and they turned out really good. I liked them, but it was almost, it sounds kind of strange, it was almost too much mica spray. Like, it was too much shimmer. So I decided to do it this way with a nice base color to start with, and I like this a lot better. I added in a little bit of black cauldron to the centers just to kind of give it a little bit more definition and give it some difference between the two. And I'm going to set those off to the side to dry. I'm going to work on my greeting next. I'm going to take some of this heavyweight vellum. Again, you can use any vellum that you like. This is just one that I've had in my stash for years. And I'm taking a slimline nested die from Waffle Flower, and I'm going to cut out a nice banner so that I can stamp my greeting on it using some embossing ink and some embossing powder. I'm going to take this vellum, I'm going to wrap it around the edges later, and I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. But I'm going to get my greeting stamped down, and again, I'm using a greeting from the Everything is Wonderful stamp set. This is a beautiful stamp set, wonderful greetings inside of it. I can't wait to color the roses. This is from their retirement sale. I think I mentioned this in my haul video whenever I showed this particular stamp set. But again, their retirement sale is kind of while supplies last. So if you want to get your hands on some of these older sets that are still really great to use, you might want to hop over there and check out what they've got left. I'm just centering up the greeting on this vellum strip, and I just have my card base underneath just to kind of eyeball where I want to place it, using some Simon Says clear embossing ink, and I'm going to be using some Brutus Monroe Alabaster White embossing powder. Now, when you're embossing on vellum, you want to make sure that your heat gun is really warm. You want to make sure that it's good to go, nice and hot. So the faster that it melts this embossing powder, the better, because it really can burn this vellum because it is so thin. And I like to also heat it up from the back instead of right on the front. I found that that helps out a lot more with, like bubbling and scorching of the vellum. And it's really quick. Get that heat gun going and it's melted really fast. The same thing goes with acetate as well. So I had a little bit of a boo-boo here. I adhered everything down to my card base, and I ended up having to cut this apart later, and I'll show you that in a little bit. I'll show you the stamping of my greeting that I used on the inside first. And I took the Busy Buzzwords stamp, the autumn one. I think I used this in my last card too with the little truck bed. And I wanted to stamp just an autumn greeting on the inside. Now you could easily use this as a regular, hope, may your day be filled with joy. This could be a birthday card. This could be, a congratulations card. It could be anything, but I wanted to make it into a fall card. Just because these sunflowers go so great with the fall and the colors, And I was really inspired by a little thank you card that I got in one of my Honeybee purchases, and it really inspired this card, and I had so much fun making it. This is the last card in my fall series for this year. I really want to thank you guys all for coming by and supporting the series. I am working very, very hard on my next series, which is going to be my Christmas series, which I know you guys are all super excited for, and I can't wait to share it with you. Now, I am going to be taking a small break. I'm going to take about a week or two off of YouTube just to kind of refresh and reset and get ready for the Christmas series. Once I had my greeting all done here, I'm going to set it off to the side to dry a little bit more because it is a pigment ink. And we're going to assemble our little sunflowers here. Now, these sunflowers are pretty easy to put together. I fussed around with them for quite a while. Now, according to Honeybee's website, if you just kind of look at the etchings, because it does leave like a little bit of an etched detail with the dye, and you can line it up pretty easy. I had a hard time seeing it because of the mica sprays and all of that. They kind of blended in pretty good, but I think you could put this together any way that you like, and I think it would be beautiful. It doesn't really matter as long as you get things kind of lined up. I think it's going to be great no matter what. And I did curl the edges of the little petals up a little bit just to give it a little bit more dimension. And I fussed around with this first one for quite a while just to make sure that I liked where I placed everything. Again, if you just go with it and layer them up, it's pretty simple. Don't overthink it. Just go with it and they're going to be really pretty. It's the same with the coneflower die. I have that one. I got my hands on it. I was super excited when I got the notification that it came in stock, so I hopped over there and ordered it real quick. I can't wait to use that one too. It looks like a lot of fun to create with. I've seen a lot of amazing things with it, but these sunflowers are beautiful too. I've seen some people do them in white. Obviously the orangey colors, you can color them with your Copics. You can, watercolor them, ink smush them, all of these wonderful things. Get this second flower together and adhered. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I am going to be taking a small break, but it doesn't mean that you can't catch up on last year's fall series or catch up on any videos you might have missed here. And you can catch up with some of my Christmas series that I have. I've got two. This will be my third year doing a Christmas series here on YouTube, and I'm super excited for that. So if you don't want to miss out on when that series starts, if you hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell, you'll be notified anytime that I upload a video here on YouTube. Now we're going to get our card assembled here. This is where I made my little bit of a boo-boo. So I wanted to wrap that vellum greeting around my card base, but if I wrap it around now where I've got everything adhered to my base, you're going to see that vellum underneath. So what I'm going to do is I end up cutting the card base in half, and it's not a big deal. It makes the card a little bit thicker than need be, but it still works out fine. So I just cut it in half, and I'm going to assemble it all together a little bit later. I'm going to attach all of my elements here to the front of this new card panel, and I'm going to trim off the excess around the edges. Now it seems kind of scary, you did all that hard work, but I really think it kind of rounds out the image. It really kind of just finishes it off. And I get out my big paper trimmer, the one that I am terrified to use, and I'm going to trim all these off. Now I'm a little off screen here because this thing is huge, this paper trimmer. I can't tell you how big it is. I think I got it from Walmart and it is fantastic. It cuts amazingly, but it's huge. So I think I might have to get a smaller one. But I'm just lining it up with the edge of that card base, and I'm just trimming off all of those excess petals just to kind of really clean up the image, and so it'll fit nicely into an A2 sized envelope. Now I can take that vellum piece and I can really wrap it around the edges without any interference. And I'm just going to hold it down with a little bit of washi tape. You're not going to see this in the end. It's just there to hold that piece in place so that we can adhere it to our card. And I really love this see-through vellum greeting. It is so fun. I think I've done it maybe once or twice before. Not on anything that I've shared here on YouTube, but I really like this technique. It, helps kind of show the greeting, but it doesn't take away from what's going on in the background. It really showcases, the image. It doesn't cover it up too much, and it helps with if you have a difficulty finding somewhere to put a greeting, especially on these dimensional cards. Sometimes it's hard to find somewhere to add your little sentiment. Here's where I got out another card base, and I'm just scoring it here to make a top folding A2 sized card. I'm going to adhere all of my elements onto this new card base, and it'll look meant to be, like I didn't make any errors or anything like that. Once I have this panel attached, that will finish up this card for today. I didn't want to add any more embellishments. I thought the card was beautiful just the way that it was with all that shimmer from those mica sprays. Again, this was the last card in my fall series for this year. I really hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun bringing you guys this series. I'm going to be taking a short break, and then I'll be coming back with my Christmas series. I can't wait to share it with you guys. You are going to love it. And I'll catch up with you all in the next one. Bye! On screen, I've got a few videos that I think you'll enjoy. Consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos at my YouTube channel.